This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Oh, this game was over before it even started, Padre fan. Yeah, they had the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning, could not score, and that was a disastrous outcome in that first inning, as they later would be completely shut down by the rookie Noah Schultz, making his fourth big league start. He did not look like it tonight. 3 walks in the first inning. Padres unable to get anything across, and then a 6-run second inning allowed by Germán Márquez. The result, an 8-2 loss for the Padres, a series opener dropped. They have not been hitting lately. Their bullpen's been getting tagged. The back end of their rotation has been terrible, but they're still only a half game behind the Dodgers. This is your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. And the Padres never got started tonight. That's a big, big part of what's been going on with them lately. We got a lot to do. Got the postcast opener against the White Sox. By the way, the Cubs just beat up on the Padres, took 2 out of 3. Now the White Sox coming in, having won 12 of their last 15, coming off a sweep over the Angels, the homeless vagabonds of Major League Baseball. They call themselves LA. They're not LA. They're Anaheim. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But just not a good night for the Pods, and not a good night for Germán Márquez. Not a good night for Mariachio. Just an awful, awful experience watching this baseball game tonight, to be honest with you. We got a lot to break down. We have the player of the game, the X Factor, who fudged up. A lot of those tonight. Question, second guessing, the turning point, all those things coming your way on your Padres Postcast. Keep it here. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, on the Locked On Podcast Network.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Oh, let me tell you about Munetaka Murakami. In just a minute, we're going to get into that. But look, the White Sox coming in playing really well, and the Padres looking like they might be hitting the skids a little bit. 8-2 the final. White Sox out hit the Pods 8-6, no errors in the game. They scored 6 in the second, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the eighth. The Padres 2 in the bottom of the eighth. At one point in time, Fernando Tatis Jr. was 3 for 3 with a walk, reached base 4 times. The rest of the Padres lineup was 0 for 22 at that point. Now, Manny added an RBI single. You know what I'm saying? And Duhar reached on an infield single to score Johnson, and Tatis scored on Manny's single to left field. So Fernando had a good game offensively, and just not much else going right for the Padres tonight. So what do you say we dive right into it and take you to where this game really just, it ended early, man. That 6-run second just took the wind right out of their sails and took the crowd, another sellout crowd, right out of it.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's hard to pick one because there were 2. One was in the bottom of the first inning. Like, you set the tone, right? Germán Márquez comes out in the top of the first. He's okay, nothing great. You know, a 1-out walk to Murakami, but a strikeout. You know what I mean? And no runs, no hits, no errors in that inning. Good job there. Bottom of the first inning, Laureano grounds out to short. Fernando walks. Andujar flies out. Machado walks. Bogarts walks. Ty France grounds out to second. His hot streak's obviously clearly over. And 0 for night tonight. And then the top of the second comes. So the combo of the bottom of the first, where they have the base loaded, don't score the Padres. And then here come the White Sox. Montgomery walk. The walks have been killing the Pods lately. And then a double to right field. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Antonacci with a single. Boom, RBI, 1-0. Hayes, fielder's choice, ground out to third. Another run comes across, 2-0. A walk, another walk. A sacrifice fly makes it 3-zip, and then a home run for Murakami, his major league leading 13th, by the way, for the White Sox. And it is 6-0 before you can blink. But then here come the Padres. Noah Schultz, 1-2-3. Noah Schultz, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. All night long, like Lionel Richie. Then the top of the fifth, Germán Márquez gives up a home run to Montgomery, makes it 7-0. They hit the extra point, clearly. He ended up making it 5 innings and saving the bullpen for tomorrow if you're looking for the glass half full. But there's not much in the glass after a night like tonight. Peters with a single scoring Antonacci in the top of the eighth off Mariachio, made it 8-0. And then in the bottom of the eighth, you had a ground out from Fermin. Bryce Johnson walked. Merrill didn't play tonight. Laureano strikes out swinging. Fernando singles to right. He tripled earlier in the game. And Andujar with an infield single scores Johnson. Machado with a single to left on a 3-2 pitch scores Tatis. Manny worked his way back from an 0-2 count. Xander came up and a home run would have made it 8-5. And I'm going, oh, Xander. No, good job. They pitched around him. Beto, by the way, that reliever who pitched that inning for the White Sox, threw over 30 pitches in that 8th inning. But 8-2, the Padres, they have not been hitting lately. They have not been getting much done at all lately. And that's just a shame because when you think about this team and that streak they went on, they were really hitting the ball. And, their rotation hasn't really given them much all year. And think about Murakami. His 3-run shot tonight, by the way, passes Aaron Judge and Yordan Alvarez for the MLB lead. And Chicago has 14 multi-homer games this season. They really raked. They're not as bad as they were last year at all. In fact, they're 2 games under 500. They were terrible the last 2 years, right? Unbelievable. Murakami the homer, Montgomery the homer, 8-2. Let's see. Yeah. Murakami and Montgomery homered for the 7th time in the same game this season. The most by any teammate duo in the first 35 games of the season in MLB history, which is awesome, right? Not awesome, being sarcastic. Noah Schultz, of course, I talked about him. 2-1, 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 3 in 6 scoreless innings. Got out of that bases loaded jam in the first. Antonacci went 2 for 4 with the RBI. Fernando had a single in the 3rd. He tripled in the 6th, first triple of the season. Still doesn't have a home run. And, Austin Hayes with a nice catch to end that inning by the foul line, too. He fell on his butt and caught it on the ground. So Fernando, 3 for 3 with a walk, scored 1 of the 2 runs in the 8th. And then, Manny driving him in. But Germán Márquez, and here's where I just got to go with it. I mean, it's a little early in the show, but who cares? It's that time. And when it's that time, it's that time.
Uh-oh, somebody messed up, and it's time to let them know with Who Fudged Up.
Who fudged up for the Padres tonight? I mean, nobody could hit the ball, right? So it's not like it's, there are a plethora of candidates for who fudged up, but it has to be Germán Márquez, man. He's 3-2 somehow. 7 earned runs, 5 hits over 5 innings. What is this guy still doing in the rotation? Stammen after the game is talking about, he'll get it turned around. It doesn't look to me like he's going to turn anything around. And these 3 guys at the bottom of the rotation have been trash. Buehler, Waldron, Marquez. They've been awful. Absolutely awful. 7 earned runs, 5 hits over 5 innings. The Padres were 4-1 in his previous 5 starts this season. More about the offense than him, by the way, because you look at his splits in his recent games. He's had a couple. He had the game versus Arizona that he got the win. 4 earned runs in 5 innings. 4 earned runs in 4 innings versus Colorado. 4 earned runs in 4 innings versus the Giants. He's just had some really, really bad starts. He's not a good pitcher. I don't know why he's in the rotation at all. He was awful tonight. And he's been awful pretty much almost every time out. And he's been bailed out, by the offense a little bit. And it sounds like I'm being tough on him, and I am. It's been terrible. And I don't care. What you know what I mean? I just don't care. 5 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 5 walks to go along with 5 hits. That's 10 runners on base in 5 innings. That's just unacceptable, man. 2 home runs allowed as well. Another crap outing for a Padres starter. There's no way to deny it. They fudged up. It's on the back of their uniform, the brown. It blends with the brown and the Padres colors. It's just, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, they were awful tonight. Germán Márquez has not been good. Waldron, of course, and Buehler. You got Michael King Pavetta's on the IL. Randy Vasquez has not been pitching great lately. And they're still only a half game behind the Dodgers, who lost, by the way, to You Can Find Me in St. Louis tonight. 7-2, they got smoked by the Cardinals. At home, by the way, the Dodgers did. So, at least the Dodgers lost at the same time, right? 8-2 the final. The bases loaded fail in the first. The 6-run second for the Chi Sox. Already went through that. The Marquez meltdown. There it is. Tatis the only offense until Manny late. And then game 2 tomorrow with reporters clock, producers jock. They want to be down with the king. Please, Michael King, reverse this little streak that we're on lately. The 3-game losing streak, by the way. Last 2 against the Cubbies. And now this one. And Michael King going to take the mound. We'll tell you more about this un momento, por favor. But Michael King will take the mound tomorrow. 5:40 p.m. is the first pitch against Sean Burke. And that's a winnable game for the Pods right there for shizzle, if you know what I'm rizzle. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like playing around because what else are you going to say about this stinker of a game? I mean, just awful by Marquez. The bullpen was okay. You know what I mean? But nobody's hitting. Fernando, if he gets going, no Merrill in the lineup tonight. The crowd was taken out of the game very early. Just one of those games that you're watching all night long. And I love Don and Mud. Shout out to Don and Mud. They're the best in the big leagues. Don is for sure. Don Arcillo is great. But, man, just no disrespect to those guys, but that was a tough watch. Nothing to do with the announcers. They were great. And that's every announcer's worst nightmare. Phil, it's 6-0 in the second inning. No. And yeah, there you have it. All right. We're going to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to give you the X factor. I'm going to give you the player of the game. Going to get you ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the sun will come out. Tomorrow, little Lou Rawls there for you, right? But we'll see if the sun will come out. Well, I'm sure the sun will come out tomorrow in San Diego, but you know what I'm saying. I'm Grease. This is your postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Padres lose 8-2. And yeah, I want to thank all of you for being here, and more on some of our special viewers and listeners in just a moment. But first, a couple of words from our sponsors. You're going to want to check this out because good deals coming your way as always. Here we go. All right, let's see. Make sure that went up. Oh, see that? Come on, baby. Don't stick on me again. Don't do that. FanDuel's too important to us here at this network. The NBA playoffs are cracking right now. How about the Lakers? Did they finish this game against Houston today? I had one eye on this for a while. Let's see. The Lakers closed out the Rockets 98-78 in Houston. Kevin Durant didn't play again. Who cares? But the Lake Show moves on without Luka to the next round. Austin Reeves only played the last 2 games, but the NBA playoffs are here, and every possession matters. If you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel has a great offer to get you started because right now, hey, it's your tomorrow today. And new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. I like using FanDuel during the playoffs because everything I need is right there in one place. You check the stats, the trends, the matchups, and do that all before every single game, obviously. And you can put money on all of them, having a lot of fun. You can make your picks, makes the whole experience feel a lot more informed. Whether you're looking at player props, following your favorite stars, it adds another level of excitement to the game. It's a really easy app to navigate, and it makes playoff basketball even more engaging from start to finish. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, play your game on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I have a question for you. Okay, what time it is? Game time, MLB season in full effect, and you can feel it. The fresh starts, the big expectations, and the first crack of the bat, right? Whether it's a breakout rookie or a division race that goes down to the wire, there's nothing like being in the ballpark for it. The only problem, getting tickets can feel like a grind. Long queues, surprise fees, prices jumping at checkout, yada, yada, yada. That is where Game Time comes in. The Game Time app gives the fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experience in just a few taps. Simple to use. The Game Time guarantee, you know what that is. It means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here is the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. And the seat views feature is huge. You look in your phone, your computer, oh, it's panoramic. I'm going to see what the view is from my seat before I even buy it. And that's amazing. Zone deals. I pick the section, save even more while Game Time picks the seat. I can follow my favorite team and get alerts when new deals drop. Let's go to Petco. Come on, let's go. Posse up. 2 taps and it's done. No stress, no hidden fees, just great seats in minutes. That's what makes it so easy to decide last minute to hit a game. And here's the offer. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDON locked on for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Game Time. What time is it? Akira. It is game time. And one more time for your mind. Here we go. And it's the link, by the way, is in the description, but it's also right there on the screen. LockedOnPodcast.com/everydayer. And the link that's in the YouTube description is actually for the Padres specific one. So check one of those out and join the Everydayer Club. Will you please? We love you, Everydayers. You've made us the #1 podcast network in the world, and you get ad-free episodes. You get access to a group chat, a Discord with Javier Reyes and other listeners and viewers of the show. Tap the link in the show notes or go to the URL you see right there on your, wherever you're watching on your screen, LockedOnPodcast.com/everydayer. Bang, look at that. What else am I going to do? I'm just being a clown because there's nothing going on. This game was awful. I mean, it was one of those games like, can I get my 3 hours back? Please, por favor. No, I can't. But look, the back end of the rotation has been terrible. Marquez got ripped, gave up 6 runs in the second inning tonight, gave up a solo homer later. He walked 5, gave up 5 hits, 2 home runs in the game. He's the fudge up of the night. The back end of the rotation with the Waldron, Cauldron, and Bueller. Anyone? And my God, herminated Marquez, like terminated. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, the White Sox did. So that back end, as my dad would say, the ass end of the rotation did no good for the Padres tonight. They couldn't hit for squat. Fernando at one point was 3 for 3 with a walk, and everybody else was 0 for 22. And remember, they were no hit for 5 2/3 the other night against the Cubs. And now tonight, they were, aside from Fernando, 0 for 22, their first 22. So offense struggling, back end of the rotation bad. In fact, Vasquez hasn't been good either. It's only been Michael King. Thank God he pitches tomorrow. But so much going on. And look, we got a couple things to do in a short time to do them in. So what do you say we get started? I'm not going to second guess anybody tonight because they got blown out, but how about we do this?
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
Man, it's kind of tough to say under the radar. And I try to pick Padres every night, but Wandy Peralta, and look, Jeremiah Estrada came back from rehab tonight. They wanted me to go to rehab. I said, no. He came back. Didn't pitch, though. Peralta came in and pitched 2 scoreless innings, a walk and 2 strikeouts. You could argue that he and Fernando were the 2 bright spots for the Padres tonight, which leads me to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yet this year, I'm pretty sure. Maybe once, but I doubt it. This is the second time Fernando Tatis Jr. has reached base 4 times in a game. He went 3 for 3, drew a walk, scored a run. You know, he hit a triple down the line. He didn't score on the triple. I mean, they couldn't get him in. Just a lot of missed opportunities tonight for the Padres. But when you lose 8-2 and your pitcher gives up a 6 spot, your starter in the second inning, and your starters have been bad lately anyway, besides King, Pivetta and Musgrove and all those guys are coming, but we don't know, right? So anyway, your player of the game tonight, Fernando Tatis Jr., and playing second base again, by the way. He's good out there at second. Interesting when he's out there playing second base, though. And, yeah, just a tough one for the Padres tonight. And, again, they fall to, where are we at? 19-12, 10-7 at home. White Sox 15-17, but they've won now 13 out of 16 games. Noah Schultz, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Didn't really strike many guys out. Not overpowering for a 6'10 guy. You know what I'm saying? A lefty, though, and crafty. He did walk 3 all in the first inning. Marquez, again, 5 innings, 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 5 walks, 2 home runs, and 2 strikeouts. He gave as many home runs as he did strikeouts and as many walks as he did hits. Think about that. That's hard for a Major League Baseball starting pitcher to be that great. So congratulations, Germán Márquez, for pulling off that rare feat. 5 hits, 5 runs, as many runs as hits. I'm sorry, as many hits as walks, and as many home runs as strikeouts. That's not going to win you very many games. By the way, Andujar 1 for 4 with an RBI. Machado 1 for 3 with an RBI, and 1 for 4 for Fermin. But other than that, Bryce Johnson scored a run after walking. But that's it for the Pods tonight. Meanwhile, for the pitchers, told you about Marquez 100 times already. Peralta, 2 innings. I told you, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Marinaccio, 2 innings, 3 hits, a run. It was earned, a walk, a strikeout, and he was in trouble in both the innings in which he pitched. So we'll see if they can turn around tomorrow when Michael King takes the mound for the Padres. It's a big game at Petco. 5:40 first pitch tomorrow night. And, Michael King was good his last time out in Mexico City. He's 3-1 with a 2.41 ERA, the whip 1.04. Sean Burke for the White Sox, 1-2 with a 3.21. Also a good pitcher. You're looking at this game tomorrow, and the over is 7.5 at -120. Padres -219 on the money line, and they are -207, or they opened at -219 on the money line. The money line now is -207 for the Pods, -169 for the White Sox, or +169, excuse me. And the total is still 7.5 at -115 for the over and -105 for the under. So we will see tomorrow when King takes on Burke at 5:40 p.m. Sorry, I'm a little tired. It's my 3rd show today, guys, but having a great day. Great time with you every night on your Padres Postcast. We're here live after every game, right, on YouTube. Then right after that show, it's 20 minutes. We upload, you download. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, Roku. You down with OTT? Yeah, you know me. All right, so that's it. That's it. Padres drop it 8-2, and tomorrow they drop it like it's hot tonight, and see if they can get back on track tomorrow. By the way, make sure you check out Javi Reyes, day in and day out, Locked On Padres podcast. Same channels and platforms as me, wherever you're watching me or hearing me or this show right now. Here you go. We'll be back tomorrow night, 5:40. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _ Thanking you from the everydayer down to the newbie for making us the #1 sports podcast network. The Friar Faithful, some of the best fans in the world. Thanks to everybody in the chat as well. We will be back tomorrow. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, Padres every day. Keep your game tight and your mind right. Talk to you tomorrow.